はい、おはようございます。なほです。
And I'm Matt.
はい、このカモンレディオでは、私たちが運営するオンラインの英語の教育プログラム、カモンラインについて、英語で語っていくプログラムです。今日はですね、また別のゲストの方をお迎えして、いろいろお話を聞いていきたいと思います。今日の、ゲストはクリシーです。
Yeah, Naho, I'm super excited to bring Krishi on. He was actually meant to come to Japan last summer for the
Yeah.
first time in our program in Japan, but of course it was canceled. But he stuck around with us. Thank you, Krishi, for sticking around and has worked with us since last summer on the Come Online program, helped create that. And along with Kayla, who we had on recently, and Gabrielle, another intern, helped create our first ever biology-based camp as well. So we've worked with Krishi for, the last 6-8 months, and it's been wonderful. And excited to have him on today. There he is.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Chrissy. How are
So
you?
Krishi, first question: why are you on your phone?
Thanks for putting me on the spot, Matt. I was gonna do it on my laptop, but I went to do laundry and I forgot my key in my room, so I'm locked out currently, sitting in my hallway in campus dorms. So, fortunately, Wi-Fi's good, so everything should be okay.
But a classic dorm debacle.
Okay, so yeah, thank you for joining us. Krishi, if you can introduce yourself a bit, where you study, what's your interest?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, thanks for having me on, and love the podcast radio idea.
Thanks.
But yeah, so I'm Krishi. Hajime mashite. I'm in New York City. I go to school in Columbia. My majors are neuroscience and some econ and philosophy, a little all over the place. Really not sure what I want to do for work. I'm considering like grad school, maybe medicine, maybe just writing, or maybe just selling myself to the corporate life, but we'll see. Also, yeah, I would love to teach English in the future with Come On Out Japan. Great company.
Hey, thanks. And we're really happy to have you. Just a little bit of neuroscience, a little economics, a little philosophy. How'd you get to have such a diverse, different studies? You're really doing a lot of different stuff.
It's nothing to be proud of. I just was so indecisive. I just ended up taking so many different classes that this is what I ended up with. So yeah, just couldn't make up my mind of what I wanted to do.
Well, hey, you know this from you and I talking, Krishi. I was indecisive and well, and hey, there's nothing wrong with learning a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, you said you're doing film, right? In your undergrad?
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. It's great and that's what you and I and the team and Naho have created with Come Online. It's not just one thing; it's diverse topics. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's great.
And you're on the soccer team there. You got a Columbia soccer shirt on.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was my pajamas, but I played my freshman year and had to stop because of injury. But athletics, I think, is really important in learning in life. So if you want to talk about a little pedagogy and learning with the podcast, I'd be down.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sounds great. Yeah, so you're studying at Columbia. You are currently senior at Columbia University. Yeah. So how are you adapting the remote lifestyle? I guess the class is online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how's class going?
Good. Yeah, all the undergrad classes are online. Some graduate school programs are in person, but they're trying to stagger it such that not too many people will have to come on campus and take in-person classes. So it's going well so far. There's obviously pros and cons, and I'm sure everyone is tired of hearing this debate. But some pros of online classes is that you get some more time to yourself, introspect, embrace the benefits of solitude, and spend time with your family, which might not always get to have in the busy day-to-day life. Another big thing I noticed is the commute time is significantly reduced, so you can end up saving a lot of time in a day. It adds up to maybe 1 or 2 hours of extra time from not having to commute to places. And I know there's people out there, including myself, who have like a 12 o'clock class and wake up at 11:59 and show up to it. So don't, if it's your style, you might as well go for it. But there's obviously cons too. A lot. It's really hard to communicate as you used to. Really hard to develop true, genuine relationships with new people and continue relationship with older friends.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you too, but my main method of communication is through body language and facial expressions and micro communications. So it's really hard to do that over a Zoom or online platform. But you make the most of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you, Krishi. I'm also a very in-person person. Naho, probably you too.
Yeah.
And but hey, that's what and I remember you bringing this up when we were creating the curriculum for Come Online, is like incorporating as much body language or things like that, movement that change the Zoom setting a little bit, shake it up, and be able to communicate more. And so I always appreciated that. But how's you're back in New York, but Naho asked you, and you're just doing online. But you're in the big city. Obviously, Naho's in Tokyo, and I'm in LA. We're all in the big cities that are struggling with COVID. How is it being there at school, but you're not doing classes? Are you doing other stuff in person with students? Are you able to interact at all, or?
Yes. So new rule that they implemented is that in dorms you're not allowed to have any guests. So usually what happens is that you can only hang out with people that are in the same dormitory as you. So it really shortened our social circles significantly. But it's still good because there's a few people in the dorm that you're living in. But obviously most of group work is done online through Zoom meetings or group chats and things like that. So yeah, pretty much everything's online.
Yeah. Oh, we got a question. Oh, Krishi.
Hi, Krishi. Hey, Krishi.
Is it difficult attending class remotely when locked outside your room?
That's a great question, Krishi. Thanks for the question. I don't think it is that difficult because the phone has the equal capacities as your laptop, and usually I come to class prepared. So as long as you have a camera, you should be good. If anything, I'm more mobile. I can structure the camera around, flip it. So I can do with the laptop.
Oh, you gave a little preview of your dorm there.
Yeah, it's a long hallway.
So you looked out.
残念ですね。
残念ですね. Yeah, so for the online class, what kind of tool do you guys use at Columbia?
We all use Zoom. Just
Zoom?
Zoom, and the central class platform is Courseworks. I know some other universities use that too. That's for quizzes and tests. Sometimes Turnitin, Gradescope, if you're familiar with those. So.
No.
Oh.
not with Gradescope.
Turnitin, it's a classic plagiarism checker that you submit your essays to, and Gradescope is a central online platform where you submit all of your assignments so that TAs have an easier time of grading pages because they correspond to the questions that they put on.
Oh.
Yeah, this is all the really boring logistical stuff, but they make it work, fortunately.
No, it's cool to find out. I mean, and everyone's having kind of a different experience, and so we're just curious, and because everyone's that are doing class or work or outside of school are using all these new tools, and there's all these different things, and some things work good, some things don't work, and obviously with our Come Online, Krishi, from doing our program in biology camp, we're using different tools too to try and see what works best. So no, it's interesting to hear, and and I will say to the viewers that Krishi, who asked the question, is a multiple year alumni of our program, and so probably why he put Krishi on the spot there. But just to
great
put
guy.
it in
I think
context.
you should have him on the podcast next, Matt. I heard.
All right, he's listening now, so we're we'll make it happen, right, Krishi? Listening.
He was
Thank
telling
you
me he
for
has
the
a lot of
question.
ideas for Cooge, so I think you should have him on.
Yeah. Anyways, Krishi, good luck with all the adapting to your kind of final term there.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope it goes well. Glad you're back in New York, safe and sound, though.
Appreciate it. Hope you guys are healthy too, back home and safe. Good.
Yep, we're all staying safe.
Okay, so as Matt mentioned, you helped create the curriculum for the Come Online program and are currently one of our team members. What do you think is most impactful about this experience for students and mentors?
What's most impactful? I think just the fact that we were able to do something as opposed to nothing. Just keeping the program aloft instead of just yielding to the vices of COVID is more than enough, because we did everything we could do, and shows that we're still trying to adapt. And one positive thing is that after the pandemic ends, I think our social infrastructures will have changed to such an extent that it would be too much of a cost to completely shrug off Zoom and other online platforms. So I think good takeaway is that we're adapting people to an increasingly technological world by taking advantage of the circumstances.
Couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have said a better promotional bit for Come Online and why it's important to stay connected.
Mm.
You're absolutely right. It's going to continue and change everything. Oh, Kelly, thanks for the comment.
Yes, second Kelly's statement. I would watch Krishi's podcast as well. Yeah.
Krishi, I guess you really came on to promote the next podcast with Krishiv, huh?
Basically, yeah. I'm his agent.
But thank you, Kelly. Thank you for your comment. Yeah, and for the English Lounge presentation, you have 3 topics for the English Lounge and
Yeah.
workshop. One is a workshop on Google Forms,
Mhm.
and one on storytelling in social media, and the last one on possibilities of, I cannot pronounce this, Matt.
Extraterrestrial life. You got it now. Krishiv gave you some. You got it.
Extraterrestrial life.
There it is. Yeah, they're all super interesting. What got you inspired with extraterrestrial life? What do you talk about in that one to the students?
Yeah, it was just love science, but like I said earlier, I'm just really hard at making decisions, and I like bigger picture things. So I wanted to do something that was rather interdisciplinary, but also cutting edge and forward looking, because I do think that the future of science and human politics is space exploration and expansion of civilization and everything. So I wanted to get the students to think about other ways that life can manifest itself, because at least for me and the way that I was taught in the American school system, we kind of are shoehorned into a specific way of looking at living things, like, they have to have cells, they have to reproduce, they have to have homeostasis, et cetera, those 8 or 9 different qualities. But I think it's important to be able to fathom different possibilities, like maybe life isn't what it seems to be. Like maybe they don't even need to be carbon-based organisms. Maybe they don't have to have consciousness. Maybe things as inert as rocks can be life. Maybe consciousness can manifest itself in different ways. Like there's incredible parallels between the star structures of galaxies and neurons in the brain, and I don't think that's by sheer coincidence. So this sort of transhuman philosophical intersection of different disciplines was really interesting. I think it's worthwhile to give that broad picture to students. Sorry if I'm talking too much, but
No,
I really love the topic.
I was there. And I know from students telling me too that you really blew a lot of students' mind and got them thinking about things they had never thought about before. And I think, for those of you who are listening now, and maybe Krishi's topic seems very complex and challenging, it's because it is, but that's also so cool about our program and doing these lounge sessions, is that you get a chance to.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. That was the goal. Hopefully some students did get some information out of it.
It was great. And yeah, if you're interested in extraterrestrial life, alien life, come check it out with Krishi on the lounge.
Yeah, come through.
Yeah, and also you speak a little bit of Japanese. Where did you study
ちょ
Japanese?
ちょっとだけ。
ちょっと、ちょっとだけ。
ここの時に、2年学びました。それに大学の時2年、勉強しました。けどだんだん忘れてる。練習しないから。But
Wow.
I still, yeah, it was a lot better a year or two ago. All I can do now to maintain is watch anime and talk to my Japanese friends that are on campus. でも日本語とっても大好き。So.
Hey.
Boy. Krishi said your Japanese are very good. 日本語上手。
はい、ありがとう。
And yeah,
Michiko-san.
Michiko is, yeah, also 高校の時に2年。So you studied Japanese when you're a high school student, but in your country, no? Not in Japan. You ever?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I studied in my country in 高校の時でも
高校の時
名古屋にも行きました。それで夏休みの時の行って、3ヶ月、高校に英語教えました。
Oh, you're actually teaching English
Well,
for
I didn't teach so much as I was a teacher's assistant and I just attended school
like
there.
language exchange.
はい、留学生。
Yeah, that's great experience, Krishi.
No, yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, and keep up for your Japanese. I remember at the English workshop last summer, you were trying to say say the message in Japanese, and it was really great.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, and it also in our program when you're teaching English and there's students that speak Japanese and afterwards stay connected, and it's a two-way, street.
No,
People.
definitely.
It's great.
I think that's like important for any English teacher in a foreign country, because sometimes you forget how hard it is to just actually learn another language, and it's really amazing to see the level of English of these kids, because their English is far surpasses my Japanese. Like, for example, Naho's English is just amazing compared to my Japanese. So.
Well, Naho's English is amazing, but Krishi, your Japanese is amazing.
Yeah. We can do the language exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, it's 18 minutes easily, but it was great to have you, Krishi. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Yeah. And if viewers interested in Krishi's English Lounge, you can check all the schedule in our website. And also for the crowdfunding, Matt, I added all the English contribution gift, so please check it out.
Yeah, check out our campfire.
イングリッシュラウンジのセッションですね、クリシが持っているクラスなどの情報も、ホームページに掲載しておりますので、ぜひご覧ください。合わせてクラウドファンディングの方も、アップデートした情報なども載せておりますので、引き続き、ご支援のご協力をよろしくお願いします。Alright, and next podcast will be Thursday morning, but 10 a.m. JST for this time. With
Kelly, who was commenting on this podcast.
Yeah, I recommend showing up to Kelly's podcast, and Krishi is next.
Yeah.
You're a great agent.
Yeah. Well done. You're gonna get your commission.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Krishi, and see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank you,
Krishi.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.